Welcome to another episode of the Sexuality Scale Project podcast. This episode, we're talking about dating pressure and awkwardness, bondage sets, not sex with an X, but sets, which are used for bondage sex, and that we need to talk more about orgasms. So enjoy. So hi, welcome.
Thank you.
Let's start with your age, your gender identity or identification. I never know what to say, identity or identification, and where you're from.
I am 25 years old. I identify as a cis female, and I'm from Sweden.
Hey.
Hey.
What is your sexual orientation?
If I would have to put a label on myself, I would say that I'm pan, maybe? Like, I'm never really sure, actually.
Why are you not sure?
Well, because I think labeling is hard. It's like, I never really thought about it that much in the past. And now, when I've started to, talk to people about labels a lot, first I was like, well, yeah, I'm a bisexual. But then I realized, I don't really care about the gender at all, if it's male or female. I care more about the person.
Yeah.
So I guess I would be pan then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're pan.
Yeah.
Have you ever been with somebody who doesn't identify in the binary way, like a transsexual person or a binary person, or a non-binary person, excuse me?
Never had sex with anyone, but definitely had sexual moments with the non-binary people, but not transgender people.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt attracted
Yeah.
to one?
Yeah.
Okay. So, that probably says enough. Do you have a preference though? How pan are you? Do you really not care at all? But do you maybe have a preference for maybe you've always been more attracted to women?
Yeah,
if you would total it.
I have definitely always been more attracted to women than to men, but I've slept with more men, I think.
That's interesting.
Yeah, actually made a list quite recently of all the people I slept with because I was like, I don't even know anymore. But yeah, the men that I've slept with has usually been one-night stands, and whenever I had a closer, more intimate sexual relationship with anyone, it's been a woman.
Interesting. Okay, so let's explore that. I find that fascinating because that kind of links in with why I'm doing this. So, would you say you're more capable of having a one-night stand with men and less capable of having a one-night stand with women? Let me explain that.
Yeah.
If you're in a club or in a bar and you meet a very attractive woman, do you then immediately think, ooh, I wouldn't mind, having breakfast with her tomorrow? Or do you think, I wouldn't mind having breakfast with her forever? And with men, it's more like, he's hot, I want to fuck him, that's it.
Yeah, maybe you're onto something there. I think, because I don't really like one-night stands at all from the beginning. Mm-hmm. And when I have had one-night stands, it's been through online dating or that I met someone in a club. And I don't know why I feel like it's easier with men, because I don't know, they're easier to just go home with it, and then I don't care the next day. But I think with a woman I would care more.
Right. Why would you care more?
I don't know.
So
I feel like it's more intimate with women in general. I feel more connected to that. And so when I have sex with a man, it's just usually, I've usually felt quite bored. And I don't really care that much. And then it's always been a one-night stand. And with someone I'd have I don't care about this person. I don't care if I see this person ever again in my life.
Right. So if we would define it more binary, then I would say you're bisexual. Then you're bisexual and not biromantic, meaning that you can have sex with both genders, but you wouldn't prefer a relationship with both genders. Then you would probably prefer a relationship with a woman and not with a man. But you are then in fact bisexual. So that would also make you pansexual and not panromantic then.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not saying that like if I would meet a man and like feel that attraction and that connection that it couldn't happen.
No, exactly.
It's just like that like right
It
now in my
hasn't
life
happened
it
yet.
hasn't happened, and
No, but labels are not stuck in glue. I think a lot of people feel like they don't want to label themselves for like, because I'm going to be branded this for the rest of my life. But you can obviously at some point change.
yeah.
But in that way, I've learned firsthand in my own situations that some people think they are something, and then they meet someone, and that will throw them off and prove them wrong. So I don't think labels are forever.
No.
So you can still label yourself, but just say, right now, I'm this.
Yeah.
You don't have to say, I'm this. I mean, I'm sure that I'm a lesbian. I don't mind using that label because I'm sure.
Yeah, I actually like never really thought about it at all until people started asking me a lot what I identify as, and then I like thought about it.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Yeah.
So
maybe right now I'm pan. I don't know. Maybe in the future I'm something else.
Right. Well.
Yeah.
I think you'll always stay pan, but the interesting nuance to it is pansexual or pan-romantic.
Yeah.
In this case for you, but yeah, of course you can meet a guy, and that could be a trans guy as well.
Yeah, definitely.
That you might have romantic feelings for. So let's go back to the one-night stands.
Yeah.
One night stands fascinate me, not having had many. One. Would you say that once you've had the one night stand, how do you feel afterwards?
Usually not that good. It's always been like I've always done it out of pressure from other people and society more than that I feel like I want it or need it, really. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes actually during, and I'm really bored and I'm like, I could have had like food would have been so much more satisfying than this right now. Because like also men, and it's true. And also like men tend to care more about their own satisfaction anyway. My experience.
That's not satisfying to you? Because I do think some women and men, when they have sex with a man, the moment he comes, that's still very... that can still be a satisfaction for them. Like it's not so much about their own thing. It's like just being like really like fucked hard, and then that's it for them.
Yeah, I get that, but I feel like in a one night stand, like I don't know, it's just like really not my thing. I realize that every time I do it, like I don't know why I do this, and I should stop this. So I stopped that. Okay. I don't do that anymore.
When was your last one night stand? You would say?
It was approximately 2 years ago or so.
Right.
Yeah.
And have you ever had a one night stand with a woman?
Yes.
How was that?
I was really drunk.
Oh. I thought you were going to say something else than drunk, but I was expecting something. It was real. I thought you were going to say it was really good.
Well, it was better than when I've been with men, but it was also someone that I knew a little bit, so we already had like a friendship connection.
Okay.
So I think also that made it different because we knew each other a bit, and then after it's not like you never see this person again. So like we're still friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you still friends now?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
We were still friends before.
Right.
We just got really, really drunk at a party.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So technically, I had 2 one-night stands then. The second one was in kind of like that. Wasn't drunk though. I was stoned. I'm from Amsterdam. It's allowed. But yeah, I was very stoned, and it was just a weird situation. Kind of regret that.
Yeah, but I'd say like the one-night stand that I had with that friend, it was fun. Like we had fun.
Right.
And usually when it
didn't become awkward afterwards?
No, we talked about it the next day. It was fine.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. It's like had a good laugh and like, oh yeah, well, we're not gonna date, but hey, that happened.
Well, if you're sure, yeah. You know, then it's good that you can talk about it afterwards, and you're still friends. So it's good. So when was the first time you had sex?
I was 16.
That's actually the age that my mom wanted me to start. That was like, my mom was like,
you have to be 16.
You have to be 16 before, and then I kept telling my boyfriend that. That's why I'm still a gold star. He broke up with me 2 weeks before my birthday. Or I think it was 2 months or 2 weeks. I can't remember. A long time ago. So 16, Was that for you as well, like an age that you thought it was appropriate, 16, or did it just like naturally happen that way?
It just happened that way. I'm kind of glad I didn't do it earlier because I don't think I was ready for that. I also like didn't drink until I was 16.
Is that the legal age in Sweden?
No.
Okay.
But like most people that I know started drinking way earlier than that. But I don't know, I was really into sports when I was younger, and then like it took me a while before I felt comfortable.
Figure
skating. Figure skating.
So, do you want to talk about your first time?
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
It was also... Okay, we can talk a little bit about it. Like, it was...
No, I just want to know the basics.
Like, yeah, I was drunk then as well.
Was at a party?
It was after a party.
Right.
But yeah, this guy crushed my heart. I was really in love with him. And then I told him, and then he didn't reply for 2 weeks, and then he blew me off. And he was also 2 years older than I was, so I thought he was really immature. Yeah.
He used you.
Yeah.
That shit.
Yeah.
I'm
little
sorry.
asshole. No. No, it was okay.
It always breaks my heart a little bit when people talk about their first times and it wasn't that great. I'm sorry. Did you make up for it?
If I made up for it?
Yeah. Did you have better sex?
Yeah, definitely.
Life? Yeah. Okay, good. See? That first time doesn't matter. So would you say now that the way you view sex, I mean, you started at 16, I think from what you're saying, like you also went through the standard, I need to find a guy thing.
Yeah, but I did that later. Like, I did that when I came to Berlin.
What do you mean?
Like, most of the men that I slept with after I moved here.
Okay, so rewind then. So you had your first sexual experience when you were 16.
Yeah.
That was with a boy.
Yeah, and then I had some, like, on and off relationship kind of things going.
With boys?
No, with girls.
Oh, with girls. Okay.
During, like, gymnasium school.
Okay, so then you became more on the lesbian spectrum.
Yeah, but I never told anyone about that.
Oh, you were a closet.
Yeah, because I was so, I don't know, insecure about it myself.
Right.
And then I also had that experience with my mom when I was 15, and I told her that 2 of my best friends got together. They're 2 girls. And then she kind of asked me if I was gay, but in a very, how do you say it, judgmental way.
Oh, yeah.
So she was like, oh, yeah, but you're not, are you?
Right.
And that really, like, made me very insecure. Because then, of course, I denied it because she had that judgment already, and I wasn't sure, so I didn't know because I just started exploring that part of myself.
Right.
And that, like, I felt attraction to girls as well, and I wasn't sure, and I never talked to anyone about it. And then she comes with her judgment, and that I feel like maybe made me not, like, tell people for a very long time that I also like girls, because I felt insecure about it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, parents' opinions about certain things can really make you or break you. For sure. And,
like, I didn't talk to my mom about that until, like, this summer again. It's been, like, 10 years since she asked me that time, and then she asked me again this summer.
Right.
And then I actually told her, like, how it is.
How is that now? How's your relationship with your mom now?
It's vibrant. I don't know. It's, like, I love her. She's awesome in so many ways, but this she just, like, can't wrap her head around.
Interesting.
She told me on the phone that she believes that I am straight anyways. After I told her, I'm like, oh yes, so you just, like, didn't listen to anything I said, basically.
Right. Well, having had a Swedish partner, girlfriend, with a Swedish mom, like, you know, her mom had gay friends.
Yeah.
But then the moment she told her mom had a big reaction to it, like, oh no, not my own child kind of way.
It's okay as long as it's not you. Yeah.
Is that how Swedish moms are in general, you would think?
No, I don't know. I don't know where this comes from. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out because, I mean, it's nothing new to her. And, like, she knows a lot of my friends are also on the spectrum.
Right.
And, like, my uncle is gay and out and has been for years. Not her brother.
That even blows my mind even more.
On my father's side, though. But, like, they know each other since they were kids. So It's like, it's nothing new to her, the concept. She has friends. She met my friends. It's all fine. But I feel like it's so okay for everyone else, but not me. Because she doesn't want that for me, but I don't know why. I don't know what's the deal.
I find it fascinating that parents have such a reaction to this when it becomes their own child, when it's affecting their own kid.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, it's not about children. She even told me that she would understand.
I think by nature, parents are just very protective.
Yeah.
This is my guess. I think they're so protective of their child. They're like, oh no, now you've become a minority.
Yeah.
Now you're putting yourself in danger of being
discrimination.
Being harassed or being bothered in a certain way, and I want to protect you.
Yeah.
And being the norm of a cis straight person, that will always work better for you because nobody will bother you that way. But that's kind of.
But then they also contribute to that society by not accepting it.
They're making it worse. Yeah, they're not actually improving anything. If parents were a little bit more okay, well, I'm gonna go walk straight gay pride now for you, and I'm gonna be really open about this to people because love is love, and you need to love who you want to love, and I love you. So that's kind of what they should be doing. But I think their nature, their biology is saying you will get so much shit now. I'm gonna have to protect you, and therefore
but then I feel okay, but then tell me that and talk to me about it.
I don't think she can put her finger on it. I think that's what I'm trying to point out. I think it's a biology reaction. I think it's a DNA reaction or something.
But my dad is the complete other way around. I love that about him. Because they're
not together anymore, right?
No, they divorced when I was little. But he and I have never even had the conversation about my sexuality at all. He just always assumed that whenever I talk a lot about a person,
right,
it's a person that I feel close to and might be a potential partner of an gender. He never cares.
Right.
And I know that he knows that I'm not straight. And I know I have his support. It's just there. Which is really beautiful in a way. Because we never, that's how it's supposed to be. We never even had to talk about it. Because he just he really...
It doesn't matter to him.
It doesn't matter at all to him. And he would support me no matter what. And I know that.
No, and that's kind of why I have this kind of aversion to coming out.
Yeah.
I understand that we need International Coming Out Day and all that stuff. Just to raise awareness. But on the other hand, it kind of bothers me. I'm straight people don't come out. This is still...
Yeah, I never had to come out for my dad.
I came out to my mom, but I came out the moment I had a girlfriend. And I was in love with someone. So I came out to her to say, I'm in love. And, I'm in love for the first time. This is a big deal for me.
Yeah.
And then my mom just kind of went, oh, is it a girl? And I was like, this is the shittiest coming out story ever, because she already knew. It was not, closeted or anyway, but it was more that I said to people, I'm not sure. I've never kissed a girl.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll kiss a girl and think, ugh, this is
actually the first person I kissed was a girl.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I think my friends were actually probably making out with each other. They just never invited me.
Oh.
I don't know. I lived in the suburbs. Are you seeing someone right now?
I am dating.
Right.
Yes.
And is this a man or a woman?
It's a woman.
Okay. How's it going?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Good to hear. And your partner identifies as a woman?
Cis female lesbian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like me. Okay. Would you say that the sex is always better when you have feelings for that person?
Yes. 100% yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're such a romantic. Have you ever had... well, that was a very short question, a very short answer. Can you give me an example of when it wasn't that nice? Have you ever been in a situation where you felt uncomfortable? If you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to.
Never uncomfortable in a way where I felt like I couldn't get out of the situation if I wanted to. Mm-hmm. I never felt... No, I never felt uncomfortable in a way where it's close to sexual abuse or anything like that. Mm-hmm. I've never been in a situation like that. But I felt uncomfortable because I realized mid-through that I don't want to do this. And then maybe going through with it anyway. But choosing to do that as well. So but more uncomfortable because like I don't know why I'm doing this.
Right. So
not like
more uncomfortable for yourself.
Yeah,
than actually the person.
It's like I
you.
never like felt that someone was forcing themselves on me. I could have stopped it as well. Like I could have said like go home.
Right.
But I didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Was this still when you were in Sweden? Like,
No, it was in Berlin.
Oh, Berlin as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's also like all my weird Tinder one-night stands that I had a while.
Right.
That I don't really know why I did. Because, like, I don't know.
Well, probably more like... Well, I must say, when I moved here, I was hanging with a group of women. None of them queer at all. So they were pretty much all straight, as far as I know. And they were all on Tinder, and they were all pretty heavy on the dating thing.
Yeah.
And then when I would go have dinner with them, I would ask them about it. Like, I think that kind of spiraled this podcast into life, because I was just fascinated by their obsession with Tinder and the swiping. But then on the other hand, not really feeling comfortable with it either. And then I was like, well, why are you doing it? And so we had this whole discussion about meeting people.
Yeah.
And for me, like those first couple of months that I moved here, I had this feeling like that's the way you meet someone on Tinder. Like Berlin is Tinder.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like I felt pressure from people that I had, because I've never really been a person who like, I don't know, meet people and like go on, like, I don't know what is even a date, but you know, when you meet someone for the first time, and if you like met them online and you go when you meet them and you have a date, like I hate that. It's the worst thing. Like I'm a very social person, but I feel like I can never be myself in that situation.
Why?
I don't know what to talk about. I feel like I'm just awkward, and then I start lying
because it's a stranger.
Yeah, and because it's like it's so forced in a way. I don't know.
But I mean, you are going on a date with a person that you chose to go on a date with.
Yeah, I know, but I still don't know nothing about this person except for like what their Tinder profile said, or like a few pictures of them. And then you meet, and then I always get drunker than they do, because I drink beer fast, and then
because you're nervous.
Yeah, because I don't know how to act. Like I feel like I can't be myself. I'd much rather.
It cannot be that hard.
What?
Okay, so
yes, it can.
I mean,
this is my issue.
I've never been on Tinder. I've been on other people's Tinder. That's fun.
Like it doesn't even have to be Tinder. It's just like the whole
like
dating situation where
Tinder
you like
can actually help. So you're seeing pictures of someone and they have a little bio. So when you meet them, you can ask questions about that. Like, oh, I saw a picture of you on a motorcycle in the middle of the desert. Tell me about that. Like, were you in, like, where was this? And how did you get it? So do you ride a motorcycle now? Like, you know.
Yeah, of course I can talk. But I just feel like I can talk. I can uphold the conversation. That's fine. But I feel like I cannot, like personally, like, be myself. Like, I don't relax enough to be myself in that situation. So I feel awkward. Like, I don't think the other person notices, but I feel like, I don't know, it's a weird thing. I hate it. It's the worst.
I wonder why you feel that way.
I don't know.
Is it an insecurity? Are you worried about what they think of you?
No, not really. Like, no. I just, like, never feel comfortable at all with that kind of...
Because it's a stranger.
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. I'd much rather, and like also all the people that I've ever like had a longer, more intimate relationship with, which hasn't been very many and not for very long, but like that's always been people that I met through friends, or like that I already knew a little bit before.
Right. Which to me is the most natural, organic way of meeting people.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I prefer it. I mean, the whole dating thing, I think there's a lot of pressure behind it. And I think a lot of it, especially on Tinder, from what I hear, especially with straight people, I don't think, like for lesbians, that might be different. Gay men use Grindr, obviously, to hook up.
Yeah.
And also gay men find their husbands and boyfriends on Grindr as well. So, but I think a lot of straight men use Tinder for sex. And straight women use Tinder for love. And I think there's a disconnect there.
Yeah.
But that's kind of, I'm basing that on what I've heard and what I've seen and how people talk about it.
Yeah.
So wait, your Tinder date was a guy, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever been on a Tinder date with a woman?
Yeah, I have. But that was, I think that felt more comfortable in a way. I don't know.
Is it the sexual pressure
Yeah,
behind it, maybe?
I think like the expectation and like people, especially guys on Tinder, like at the end of the date, they like expect you to like have sex with them.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's
Yeah,
what
and
I've
I don't
heard.
want that. I don't like sleeping
And
with
women
people
are
that I don't
offended
know.
by it.
Yeah.
They're like, why?
And women are usually more careful, and like if you end up liking each other, fair enough. If not, maybe you end up being friends, and that's fine too.
No,
like,
but this is the thing for me. Like, isn't that something? And that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. Is I have people think about when they meet someone to be open and honest about who they are and what they're expecting.
Yeah.
Like in my work, I do the same thing. I set expectations with my clients so they know how long it's going to take and what exactly I need to do and what I'm expecting from them. That's the same way when you meet friends and people that you're interested in, even if it's just sex.
Yeah.
You set those expectations. Like if you're going to go on a sex date, wouldn't you talk about like, well, don't like anything rough.
Yeah, of course.
Wouldn't you talk about that? Like, if you're, for sure on Tinder to find sex, wouldn't you go into that conversation like, oh, you look hot. Just so you know, I'm not looking for a relationship. I really just want to.
Yeah, like at the end, I also put that on my profile when I still use Tinder, like that I don't want one-night stands and that I'm not interested in that.
Right.
But
has it ever gotten awkward that somebody would want to do that with you when you're like, dude, it's in my profile. Like, why didn't you read that? And I mean dude in a non-gender way.
No, it might sound like I went to a lot of Tinder dates. I didn't, but like the ones that I went to were always weird and awkward for me. And also, I don't know, I felt the pressure also from friends.
Really?
Because I was in a group of friends that were dating a lot and were on Tinder a lot and talked about that a lot. Mm-hmm. And like, I never did. And they pushed me a little bit into like, oh, you have to date this person, and like found people on Tinder for me that they thought that I should date. And so there was like the pressure from them as well that like, oh, you just have to get out there more. I'm like, but what if I don't want to? Like,
right.
I'm quite satisfied like being by myself as well. I don't need to date. If I don't want to, just let me be. Like,
yeah, so you're fine with periods of not having sex with another person.
Definitely.
Because we can have sex by ourselves, people. It's not, I keep repeating that. Masturbation is okay. I think for a lot of people, that sexual gratification needs to come from another person. I think sometimes they might be filling a void or something with it. And yes, I've had that pressure as well.
Yeah.
And, the whole demisexual thing. And I'm quite open about that because I just want to make that a statement to people to know it's fine to not wanting to have sex with people.
Yeah.
Until you meet that one that's special to you and you have sex with that person. It's totally fine. This whole pressure that you're talking about, like this keeps coming up in pretty much every conversation that I have about sex and relationships, is that people have this assumption that having frequent sex and dating and being on apps and meeting people, that's the norm, that's the standard.
Yeah.
And that the non-standard thing is just being by yourself till you meet someone special and have sex with that person as much as you can and in every position that you want to. That's totally fine. Because I think there's this assumption that if you do not have frequent sex, then you're not a sexual person.
Yeah, and that's not true at all.
Two completely different things. So I would probably categorize you as a demisexual as well then.
Yeah, if you want, like, yeah, sure.
Because from what it sounds like, so
like I actually never ever heard that term before I met you, so like I never really thought about it. But yeah, I definitely prefer, like, actually really don't enjoy sleeping with people if I don't like have something like a feeling or a connection with them before.
Exactly.
And if I do, and then it's awesome, and then like I love that.
Yeah.
But I don't see the point.
That still happens after one night.
Yeah.
Like, I've met people where that connection happened very quickly, and I sometimes chose not to have sex with them, but I could have, because I was like, oh, this is a really interesting person. I want to get to know them better. Yeah. But I just didn't want to set the tone of like, let's have sex right away. Yeah. I just wanted to make it very clear, like, I'm serious about you. I want to get to know you better. Yeah. And then do it that way. But I probably could have had sex with them right on that first night, but I wouldn't want it to be a one-night stand.
Exactly.
So I kind of didn't do it because I didn't want to set that tone. No, I really like you. Let's wait. Let's go on a date. Let's get to know each other better before we do that. And then the fear I always have is that so many people feel rejected. So that's not fun either.
I also feel like for me, having sex with people, like one night stands where I don't care, it's usually not good at all anyway.
Yeah.
So stop doing that. But it's also, I think it's a matter of like self-protection in a way. Because when I feel like I know someone a little bit better, I'm not as afraid of like getting hurt, like emotionally.
Right. Really? Okay. Yeah. So
I'm always afraid of getting hurt anyways, but...
Well, yeah, that's interesting. But once you get to know someone better, like if you know... like,
but then I feel more comfortable, like, in a sexual context with that person.
Oh, you mean like getting hurt in the bed when you have to say something, I don't like that, or I want it that way?
It's like I feel more comfortable and then it's easier, like, to actually, like, communicate.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do...
And that's so important. And, like, I feel like in one-night stand situations... I don't do that enough. I don't communicate enough.
I think so. Well, but you should. That's another thing that bothers me. If you're into one-night stands, if you're an asexual person, you like to get it on, you don't mind that it's a stranger, you see someone that's hot, and after 2 hours you're like, yeah, you're the one, let's go.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you then immediately, when you get home, already say like, okay, I mean, it's not very romantic to list things out, like, I don't like anal, I don't like that, I don't like to be tied down, or, you know.
Yeah.
But there must be something that you say during the act to make the other person clear what they're doing is yes, and what some things they're doing is a no.
Yeah, well, of course, but I don't know. I just feel like the communication gets lost in the, like, for me at least, because I also kind of find myself sometimes having troubles with the communication, and I'm trying to do that better and better, but like it's so much easier.
So you're saying it's not so much like a one-night stand thing, but just in general.
In general, yeah.
You have an issue with that. So if you are with so you're dating someone now.
Yeah.
And when you have been dating, how would that communication go? Like from the beginning, you would feel comfortable, or did it really take a long time for you to start communicating about that part?
It takes me a while, and I do prefer when people ask me so that I don't have to bring it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also am super control freak. Like also like, because I am in general in life, like I like to have control. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's hard. It's a hard balance between having the issue to talk about it, but also wanting to have that control.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you ever get yourself in trouble because you weren't communicating properly?
No. I also I never have problems of like saying no when I don't like something, or like when I don't want to.
Right.
Like that I'm very clear with.
Yeah, but I mean, you can also hurt someone's feelings. Have you ever faked an orgasm?
Yes.
Oh, tell me more about that. I'm fascinated.
Why? Or like, what do you want to know?
I'm just fascinated why people would fake.
I don't know. I'm
not being a hypocrite. I faked, but
maybe it was pressure as well in the moment.
Did you fake only with men, or have you faked with women?
Only men.
Only men.
Yeah.
The pressure of the expectation.
The expectation, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, patriarchy.
Oh my god.
Horrible.
Okay, so explain the situation, like why you would do that. You're in the act. He's on top of you, behind you.
Actually,
wherever.
Like to get it over with, it sounds really horrible, but also like, because like I just like, why am I doing this? I just want this to be over now. I just want to sleep and like eat lasagna. Like,
oh, no.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah, so those
it's
were
like,
the situations.
Yeah.
Okay,
so you just like fake your way out of it. It's like, oh yeah, that was awesome. Can you go now?
But these were the same situations where you would feel pressured to do this, right? Kind of, like socially.
Definitely. Yeah.
And so then you just kind of got it over with.
Yeah, and like, point on that, I don't have a hard time coming at all. Like, that's quite easy for me. So when I have to fake it, it's really bad.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I never put those two things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it's really bad.
Then it's really bad and boring. And like, I was thinking about food. And like, I just want to like,
then still,
be alone. Can't you just go home? And it's like, because I have a problem with the communication. Instead of just saying that it's like, can we stop this and can you just leave? I take the easier way out of it.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it. I totally get it. I mean, it all pretty much fits together like a puzzle.
Yeah.
It all makes sense. So would you still, like hypothetical?
Yeah.
Would you still do that now?
No.
Looking back?
No.
Because you said you've had one night stands here in Berlin as well.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Like 2 years ago, I think was the
so
last
then you
time.
stopped 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right, you said that. Sorry. And then, so you're pretty sure like that's not me. I'm not gonna
It's
do
not
that.
my thing. It was never my thing. I never really liked it even when I did it.
All right. Well, that's a good conclusion to come to.
Yeah.
So basically, you're accepting yourself as a demisexual.
Yeah, I can accept that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also that is on the spectrum, obviously, but I don't think, from what you've been telling me, that I think we are quite similar. Where you really just want to meet someone, have a connection with that person, and just see where that goes.
It doesn't matter who that person is, but like
yeah, but not like probably still take your time.
Yeah.
Before you even get into bed, maybe not do it right away.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that makes sense. What's the best sex that you've ever had?
The best sex that I've ever had. Oh, hard question. Can we come back to that in the end? Can you give me some time to think?
You need time to think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ask me again at the end before we end this, and I will have an answer.
Have you ever, like, is there anything fetishy or kinky that you're into?
I kind of like bondage.
Yeah.
Like ropes and stuff, but I think that's also like I've analyzed myself a little bit. I'm not quite experienced in it. I'm like still on the learning process of that. Like recently tried that.
And you want to be not the dominant one, but you want to be tied up.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Because I think maybe it has to do with my control like thing. Like I like letting that go sometimes.
Totally.
And yeah, definitely like that. But still experimenting in that whole area. Right. So I don't know. I recently bought a bondage set.
Really?
Yeah, just like because why not?
What's in a bondage set?
It's like a gag ball that I'm not quite sure if I will ever use, but like it was a set of like 11 pieces and like ropes and handcuffs, like a whip, like one of these feather things.
Yeah.
And yeah, the gag ball thing, and like the blinder.
Okay.
What was it more? Yeah, I think that was it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I have everything.
And have you used it?
Only like the ropes and the handcuff part.
Right.
But not the rest of it.
Okay.
So it also kind of looks like toys for cats. It's weird.
Well,
no, but I'm curious. I'm curious about that like part of myself. But I mean, I also enjoy going to like Kit Kat and like clubs like that, and I really like that scene. So I'm curious about that. I would also not be how do you say it? I would be open to the idea of like having sex in a club like that as well. Mm-hmm. I did have sex in a club, but that was in a club toilet and it was horrible. But like, yeah, it's interesting. I'm experimenting in that part of myself.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're into that sort of thing. But, I mean, from my perspective, and probably a lot of people, like if you like stuff like Kit Kat Club,
yeah,
then it does probably seem like you're a promiscuous person who likes to have a lot of sex. So that kind of goes against to your more demisexual character that you have. Yeah,
but then again, like if I would do that in a club like that, it would have to be with the person that I already have that connection with.
So the sex that you had in the bathroom in the club...
It was a one-night stand.
Okay, it was.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was when you were still in your one-night stand?
Yeah, it was like 5 years ago.
Right. Okay, so if you would now do something at Kit Kat Club with someone, that would be your significant other.
Yeah.
That would be someone you're with.
It would not be a one-night stand.
Right. So
No, then it would be
never
like
met someone at Kit Club Kit Kat Club that you thought was hot, and then do something there, make out, or
I make out with people in clubs.
Oh, you do make out.
Yeah, but I like never go further than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you only kiss, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Just a tease.
Just a tease. Well, you can still catch stuff from just kissing.
Yes.
Just warning you. Let's talk about safe sex.
Yeah.
Have you always practiced safe sex?
Yeah. No, I haven't.
Why not? You had a frown.
I had unprotected sex with a guy 3 years ago.
Okay.
I don't know why, it just happened. It was a really bad decision, and I had a lot of anxiety about it the next day, and had to go to the pharmacy and get one of those pills that you can get in Sweden, where it's like 72 hours after a pill.
Right.
Yeah. Luckily, I was in Sweden at the time. Yeah, because you cannot really get them here.
Because you're not on birth control.
No, I've never been.
Right.
On any kind of hormones.
Right.
So always, like, if I've slept with men, it's been condoms, and that was the only time I did that. Like, I never didn't use a condom.
And did you get yourself tested? Did you get yourself checked out?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm clean.
Okay.
Did
you
never
ever
had an STD.
Did you ever
No.
catch anything? No.
No.
Good for you. Knock on wood. So let's go back to my final question.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The best sex.
What's the best sex you've ever had?
I don't know. I really don't know.
You don't have to answer then if you don't know.
No, I don't. I really don't know. But it's definitely with the person that I'm seeing now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
But I cannot mention like a specific moment or like specific time.
But you don't
But
have
it's with
to.
that person, yeah.
Yeah. So this is someone you obviously really like.
Yeah.
And so that's the best sex you've ever had.
Yeah.
Someone you really like. Someone you're really into.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So you said something earlier about that it's quite easy for you to come, and you were talking about a situation where when a one-night stand, it was boring and it didn't happen. But then, in what way is it easy for you to come? Like, can you come with penetration, or like does it have to be on the clit? Like how easy? Because I don't think a lot of people can come easy, and I do think that some people don't talk about this.
Yeah, and I feel like we should maybe talk about that more, because as a person who I can come through also clitoris stimulation is always easier.
Okay.
But I can also come through penetration.
But also quite easy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, quite easy.
Is
I usually
also
come
annoying?
every time I have sex with someone. If I don't have to fake it, it's really, really bad. But
yeah. But is it also annoying? Or can you come and then quickly after that can come again?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate you so much right now. One of those.
I'm one of those people.
Do you also ejaculate?
Yeah.
Ah, interesting. I see a pattern there. Interesting.
But not always. Like, it also
no,
depends.
yeah.
Like, there are different kinds of orgasms. Like, for me, it's very different.
Oh, tell me.
I
don't think a lot of people know about that.
Like, for me, it's always been easier to have the ejaculation orgasm, which I feel like most people have it the other way around, and people try to achieve that. But for me, that was always the easiest, and like that was the first experience I had.
Really?
Yeah. So for me, it was the other way around, and like when I realized that there's this other kind of orgasm that you can have as well, that's more intense for me.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. And also the combination of them both.
The combination of them both.
Yeah, it's like a completely different...
Wait, let me roll back.
Yeah.
You can have two types of orgasms...
At the same time. Yeah.
People, are you listening?
Yeah.
Are you hearing this? Okay.
But that doesn't happen a lot. That's rare. And it has to be like, I don't know, a long foreplay tease thing going before that can happen. That's not a quickie thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so for you it's easy.
Yeah, but I feel like for other people that have been with it might not be as easy.
Oh no, I've had partners that couldn't come.
I feel like there's a stigma of like that you have to come for many people. And
that's the end goal.
Yeah, that's like the end quote, and like if you don't, like also if you're having sex with someone and you like don't manage to make them come, that it like falls back on the person, that the person is not doing anything right, that you failed. And I feel like we have to, like, people should talk more about that, because it's so important. Like it doesn't have to always have to do with that. Like it's also, it doesn't have to mean that it's bad.
No, exactly.
Like, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to say.
I have 2 ex-partners, and they both couldn't come when I did it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, but you can come. And they were like, yeah, but only when I do it myself. I'm like, okay, well then do it yourself.
Yeah.
So we would have our, sex, and then at some point, like, she would indicate when she had enough.
Yeah.
Like, so there would be a lot of sexual action.
Yeah.
But that, that build up.
Yeah.
And then at some point, someone will kind of go crazy and like, oh, I can't take it anymore. And then that's the moment where, like, she would finish it off herself. But I would still help. I would still be part of that process.
Exactly.
I would still, like, play. But, she would just, or they would just finish it off. So, because that's not, I mean, the first time you encounter that, you're kind of like, oh, okay, I didn't realize, that was a possibility. I mean, I obviously had heard that some people can't come at all. Yeah. That obviously sucks, but they don't know any better. Yeah. So, but it must be frustrating, and you're correct in saying, like, that there's a stigma of that's the end goal, and if somebody can't do that, I never felt like a failure. I think they were more bothered by it than I was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, because I, like, usually don't really, like, of course I care if the other person come, but if they have an issue with that and, like, have communicated that with me, like, I don't feel like a failure because that doesn't happen, because it has nothing to do with that.
No, you would be a failure if you didn't show any interest in it and didn't help them do it in any way that they needed to do it.
Yeah, I had that with the first girl I had, like, a 3-month thing with when I was a teenager, and she couldn't come at all. That's what she said. Not even when she was alone. Hopefully she can nowadays, for her sake, because that's kind of nice. But like, she had issues talking about that as well.
I think for a lot of people it's a mental thing and not so much a physical thing. Yeah. I think it's, I think for some people it is physical, for sure. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but I also think that that moment of climax, there's something emotional, especially with women, there's something emotional behind it. Yeah. And especially when you're a demisexual or on the asexual, in that gray area, I think people need to be in the right mindset for them to be able to come. Yeah. Like, so let me ask you, if you're having a bad day or if you're angry with your partner, can you still have sex?
Not if I'm angry.
So you've had an argument. You feel really shitty. You haven't resolved the argument. No. That's usually the moment where it gets shitty. Yeah. So you haven't resolved the argument. You're having dinner. You're still talking to each other, but you haven't really resolved it. You go to bed, and then she wants some, and you're like, right.
Nope. I have to talk about it first.
Yeah. Yeah. See, because you have emotional. Yeah. So that's what I mean. Then the way you're having sex is also between your ears. Like, it's definitely something that is a mental thing for you as well. Yeah. But there are plenty of people, I've been with them, that wouldn't bother them.
Really?
Yes. And I was shocked to find that out. I'm like, what? No, we just...
But, like, no.
We just had this argument this afternoon.
It's
like,
weird.
Fast forward 5 hours
sex is
later.
So intimate, and like, I don't want to do that if I'm angry with the person.
Right now.
Yeah,
like,
go away.
We need to talk. Like, yeah. I mean,
solve it first.
It would not be like a life or death argument either, but it would just be like the feeling of like, no, we're not getting along right now.
Yeah, something is. There's something blocking. It's a block. Yeah. So definitely, there's a block.
Yeah. Yeah, but they were just like, oh, okay, well, if you want to talk about it now, okay, let's talk about it. But I was just like, wait a minute, you're just totally going to be able to have sex with me
without resolving
this issue.
No, I couldn't do that.
See, you're such a demisexual. It's so funny to me now. Yeah, because I did. I mean, I have to say I did have this perception because you spoke about going to Kit Kat. That does kind of gives one an idea of what type of person you are, but that also happily throws me off because not every sexual deviant person goes to Kit Kat Club and goes for the fetish.
But I also kind of like the whole, getting undressed and like dressing up but down in a way, and like getting undressed and like being in that environment. I love that. But I feel like that's more for my like confidence as a person and like confidence for my body and like stuff like that. It's like a build up.
Right.
And then that there's like a sexual thing going doesn't bother me at all.
Right.
But I still would never have sex with a stranger in a club like that.
Right.
It would have to be like as a fun thing with someone that I care about.
But aren't you worried that other people might want to join in, like, and make an awkward situation happening?
No, because I feel like especially like the clubs that I go to here that are more sexual oriented, people have like there's a different kind of respect and consent. Like I never feel so safe in myself and my body when I am in a club like that, because people would never like touch you without your consent. And I feel like that happens to me more in the U-Bahn than it does in the club.
Right. No, but I mean,
and if they
would they ask first then, like, hey, can I join you? But then still, I would be bothered by that. I'd be like, no, leave me alone.
No, I wouldn't like just to say no, or like if someone, I don't know, shows interest without that you want to just like say no. Like I don't have a problem with the no thing.
I mean, I've been to sex clubs in Amsterdam for sure, so it's something that I've seen and been in, and I didn't feel comfortable with the over sexualization of things. In that way.
I can get that.
So I don't know, like it's kind of like getting horny for the sake of being horny kind of thing, and I'm like, and then I have heard people talk about Cat Club where they're like, well, we go there, but then usually nothing even happens. We just go to dance, and kind of it like you're not.
That's usually what I do as well. Like go dancing.
Yeah, you don't have
to swim in the pool.
Sex, yeah. So I think people
because it's a nice atmosphere, and because like when I started going there, I also went there because I went because I'm curious about that, and because I wanted to experience that part of like being naked in public with other people. And now I'd never go there completely naked, but when I go there, like I feel so confident. It's really a confidence thing. Like I go there and I feel like empowered in a way. Yeah, and it's really nice because I also had body issues as a teenager and stuff.
Right.
And now I can go there and I feel sexy.
Right.
And that it's a very nice
Maybe that's
feeling.
The difference. I've never really.
Because I like that. I really enjoy it. Like it's fun.
Yeah.
Even if I just go there to dance.
Well, maybe I can be persuaded someday.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for talking to me. I really enjoyed our conversation, and I hope that we can do it again sometime soon.
Yes, I hope so too.
Okay. Tack så mycket.
Tack så mycket. Hejdå.